Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another modern video. Today we are going to be playing Michael B's Monument Torens Soul Sisters deck. This was a higher tier donation, so this is the initial deck list that I was sent, and we'll talk about what changes I made. So generally speaking, the idea was kind of to build partially around Oketra's Monument and partially around the Soul Sisters package. So Oketra's Monument makes your white creature spells cost 1 less to cast, and whenever you cast a creature spell, you get a 1/1 white warrior creature token with Vigilance. The idea here is that you can reduce the cost of some creature cards, like say Squadron Hawk or White Mane Lion, and abuse them. The idea is for 4 mana, you can get 4 power worth of flyers on 4 different bodies and trigger the Soul Warden or Soul Attendant life gain effects 4 times. Or with White Mane Lion, you can use it to repeatedly bounce your White Mane Lion for 1 mana and just trigger your Soul Warden and Soul Attendants a whole bunch of times doing that. And this is sort of a really cute idea. The other namesake card here is Torens, Fist of the Angels, which kind of works a similar way. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 green and white human creature soldier token with Training. Training is whenever this creature attacks with another creature with greater power, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So your stuff can gradually get larger. And sort of as the payoff for this life gain package, you have Heliod, which lets you just absolutely poop +1/+1 counters everywhere. And then Archangel of Thune. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. And when you're making a bunch of creature tokens, that adds up quickly. And kind of another package in the deck was Squadron Hawk fills your hands with white cards, which you can then use to pitch to Solitude. So kind of the deck designer's biggest worry with the deck is that the deck was trying to do too many things and there wasn't focus anymore. They kind of sent me like 5 different deck lists when they sent me the initial donation. They were like, here are all my thoughts. And kind of what I thought with this build was that there's a little bit of a lack of focus in that, like, there are 6 payoff cards for the life gain, and I didn't think that was enough. I also thought with this initial deck list that some of the stuff was just a little too cute. For example, Mistveil Plains is in the deck so that you can put Squadron Hawks back into your deck and search them out again via Squadron Hawks, but I don't think that's worth a land entering play tapped. And similarly, I don't know that it is worth splashing green for 1 card. So here's what I came up with for the edited version. Essentially, what I wanted to do was lean a little bit harder into the life gain and go away a little bit from some of the self bounce and like the white card based utility. So I cut the Squadron Hawks and the Solitudes from this deck to fit in more life gain payoff and more life gain enablers. I also cut 1 Esper Sentinel. So what I've added to the deck is Ajani's Pridemate, absolute all-star in a life gain deck, and Trelisara Moon Dancer, which is another reason to be in green for life gain. It's similar to Ajani's Pridemate in that you get the +1/+1 counter, but you also get to scry, and selection in a deck like this that normally doesn't have it is kind of good. So I have kept the Oketra's Monument because reducing the cost of some of these things like Heliod or Archangel of Thune can still be valuable, and I still like the fact that this is just going to create 1/1 creature tokens, because these 1/1 creature tokens will be more valuable now that I have the max number of Soul Warden, Soul Attendants, and Auriac Champions in order to enable them. I also took out the Mistveil Plains to play a couple of Branch Loft Pathways. I was playing this in Historic, and it seemed pretty good in the archetype, so I slotted this in. We'll see how it performs. I think here, this is going to be the happy medium between having some amount of interaction. I bumped the number of Skyclaves up to 4 from 3, and having enough do stuff, spells in the deck so that I actually feel like I have payoffs. Like the White Mane Lions on their own will be a slow but consistent way to gain some life and put counters on my things. I think that's fine even without the Oketra's Monument. And Even though the Oketra's Monument is still a little bit worse than it might have been in the previous build, I still think it's good enough that we're not just going to like sideboard them out every round. The other thing I did with the sideboard is just kind of varied it a little bit. The previous sideboard was really focused in on just doing a couple of things, and this time around I kind of did two of a lot of different things that kind of overlap in some ways. So for example, Damping Sphere and Thalia overlap. Rest in Peace and Sanctifier in Vec, which is the pseudo Graveyard Hate Bear overlap a bit, and this just gives me a little bit more coverage. I also wanted a few things that I could board in versus control decks when I needed to just become a little bit more threat dense, hence the presence of Collected Company and a Miser's Archangel of Thune for some of the slower mid-rangey matchups. I'm super excited to try this one out. Let me know if you have any ideas for other things that should have gone into this deck. For the arena-focused folks, there is another 2-mana Ajani's Pridemate card. It starts out as a 1/1. I think it's a cleric. I forget the name of it. And that card is not actually modern legal. That is a card that is specifically printed for Magic Online, or not Magic Online, Magic Arena for some of their like starter deck type things. So don't suggest that one. That card doesn't actually exist. Fake Magic card. Fake Magic card. Okay. Anyway, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you are a regular, please throw me a like before this video begins. That's the easiest way to support my content for free. Let's battle. Round 1, we're playing against a Lurrus deck, so we might be playing against Burn. I just don't have enough land here. I just need to mulligan this one. Whereas this one is actively good. I will keep this. I think in case I'm playing against Burn, I'm just going to throw back Esper Sentinel and keep all of my life gain-based shenanigans. There's also an argument to just throw back my green card so that I don't have to take 2 to a fetch land. Well, my opponent is going to 5, which might mean... Oh! Red land. I gotta stop on my own upkeep. Interesting. Must have been playing something shenanigans-ridden. Let's remove that stop, because I normally don't have that. Okay, Blood Crypt. I don't know exactly what we're playing against. I don't think I want to play this one this turn. Like, I don't think I want to shock myself if I don't have to. At least not this turn. So let's get this stuff going. Alright. Goodbye, Soul's Attendant. Next turn I can shock myself, play Soul's Attendant and Relisara and be in okay shape. I don't know to what extent we're like what we're playing against. Ooh, okay. So we are probably playing against just like a... Ooh, that's a great draw. A graveyard-centric deck of some kind. That's fine. Temple Garden, yes, I'll shock myself. I'll play my Soul Attendant. I will play my Trelisara. Oh, I have to always yes to this. And now the magic happens. I get to start scrying. Ooh. Do I want to keep the White Mane Lion shenanigans? Or do I just want to work towards more land drops? I think I just want to work towards more land drops and more life gain enablers, because if my monument gets destroyed somehow, or if I lose this Soul's Attendant, this card isn't actually doing a lot. Yeah, so let's just send that to the bottom. Oh, you have Shadow, so I don't have to worry about you blocking. Nice, nice, nice. I straight up had forgotten that this card was modern legal. It just, like, feels like such a legacy card. Okay, Dragon Rage Channeler. Make my monsters grow! Oh, do you have a removal spell now? Okay, okay, they're terminating my Trussolara, and they just wanted to get an extra card into the graveyard. That's fine. Iliad. Iliad can stay on top, I think. I don't know, it's not actually super good yet. Yeah, I kind of just want to play this Archangel of Thune. I'm going to go ahead and put that on bottom. It's like fine. But I want another life gain creature in play before I get something like a Heliod, I think. Alright, down to 16, but I'm going to gain a bajillion D life. Ooh, creature types in graveyard. I don't want to trade Soul's Attendant for this. Ajani's Pridemate can't trade for that. I'm going to go ahead and bash in for my 4 damage. I assume happens. Does. And I will play this Monument this turn, which means that I get Archangel of Thune next turn due to my cost reduction. And things will get out of control pretty quickly. I'm hoping my opponent is just taking a turn off to put Lurrus in hand. Ooh, a Culligan's Command. Oh, that's some shit. I lose the Archangel of Thune there. Oof. Opponent still only has 3 card types in graveyard, so I'm not, like, taking that much damage. Oh, man, but what a beating with that K command. Ooh, and my opponent milled a Kroxa into graveyard. I missed that previously. That's, a little scary. Yeah, No, I think I need to just take that hit. Alright, so let's play my Trassalara and make my creatures huge. I will just bottom this Horizon Canopy. I want to draw with this one immediately. Or do I want to keep this around to make humans? If I draw immediately and I play a land, that's good for me. If I draw immediately and my opponent does a discard thing, that's bad for me. They can also just Kroxa. Yeah, so maybe I'll draw end of turn. I'll bash in for 6 here. My opponent goes to 7. They can play a Kroxa, which is relatively large. And as long as I play a creature, I'm not going to be outclassed in the long term. But this will hurt. I guess I also have to remember that my opponent has this man land, right? Though, if they attack with that, it creates a creature and also triggers my Soul Attendant. Yeah, sort of a weird situation. This Kroxa coming back also means that my opponent will have a much harder time turning their Dragon Rage Channeler into a flyer. Oh, yep. Alright, so I gain my life. And I'll get to do the scrying stuff. Another Ajani's Pridemate. I consider that a win as a draw. That can stay on top. And I'll take 3 from that trigger. And we'll see how much my opponent attacks for. Like, will they attack with the Dragon Rage Channeler? My guess is no. So I take the hit for 3 down to 8. And I'll take an end of turn draw for that Ajani's Pridemate. And the hope here is that I draw a 1-drop in addition to this and just get absolutely silly. Heliod. I don't think I have time to play this turn. So I have 1, 2, 3. This would be 4 devotion, so this does not enter as a creature. I could play this and then try to win via lifelink next turn, but I think I'm more likely to just reduce my opponent's life total to 0 and win that way. This is a weird spot. I think I need to do this one. So I'll gain my life, and then I'll get an idea of what my draw next turn is going to be. I don't think I want that. Put that on bottom. I'll grow my creatures. Do I attack with my 7/7? It forces a chump, probably via Dragon Rage Channeler. Already dead to Lightning Bolt next turn. Oh, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and swing in with this. I think it just gets a chump from Dragon Rage Channeler, and I'm good with that. I think I'm more likely to win if my opponent attacks with Kroxa than my opponent is. I have a card to oh shit, I don't have a card to discard anymore. Okay, now I'm dead to my opponent's last card being Lightning Bolt, which is something I was trying to play around. Okay. Well, I mean, not much that can be done there. Yeah, I mean, this has shadow, so I can't block it, so I'm dead to that. That's unfortunate. I even played around Lightning Bolt by having a card in hand. Rabble, 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 rabble. Okay, what do I like versus this opponent? Protection from red and black is probably legit. Archangel as a huge lifelinky payoff card is probably legit. Rest in Peace is okay. Path is okay. Collected Company is okay. I have a bunch of okay cards. And I'll kind of have to figure out, like, what of this pile of stuff do I actually want? I know that my opponent has Culligan's Command in the main deck. That probably means that this plan has to be out. And if I board that out, that means these are out. That gives me 6 cards to board in. I also don't necessarily think that Esper Sentinel is going to be insane in this matchup, although it does cut my opponent's tempo via baubles. What are the 6 cards that I would board in first? Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? And if I cut 2 Esper Sentinel, I can play 2 Collected Companies or maybe get an Archangel of Thune in there. My opponent's killing enough of my stuff that I don't know how good Heliod is. I don't know, Heliod's better on the play. I actually didn't get to enough mana to cast an Archangel of Thune last game, so maybe I'm not supposed to mess with that. Like, I think it's very good if it resolves, but a lot going on. This is a little too mana heavy. I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand is a keep. I think I'm just gonna hope to draw a third land over 2 or 3 draw steps and pitch a Temple Garden and keep my gas. And just gonna be a little lazy here and fetch my land tapped. And I'll play a couple of Auriok champions that will be very hard to remove. Possible I'm supposed to, like, bin Heliod, keep the third land. Ooh. Well, isn't it a shame that I have this nice Auriok champion here? With protection from black and red, I don't know if my opponent can get this off the table. Like, this thing is sticky. I am absolutely unsure what card I'm supposed to play next turn, just by the way. I don't know if I'm supposed to just, like, play the Auriok champion and just get that down as quickly as possible, or what. Alright, so... I can't do the always yield stuff when I'm F6'd. Okay. What do I discard? I think I just discard my least sticky card here. I think that's just my plan. Ooh, Archangel of Thune. I am gonna use my mana efficiently here. And I'm gonna play Heliod this turn. It's indestructible. It's not gonna trigger life gain immediately or anything, but I want to have a payoff card in play because I have an enabler that is basically never going to leave play. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We can stare at each other for a little while. I think this staring contest favors me. Alright. Yeah. Hello, devotion. Always yes. Always... Okay, yeah. Absolutely disgusting. Let's do that again. Okay, now that I know that my opponent has Ragavan, Thalia and Esper Sentinel become a little more appealing than they were just a second ago. I actually think I'm not going to do these collected companies on the draw. That's just going to get me 2 more 1-drops. And I'm thinking about the Thalias too. Like, am I just not going to get to 5 mana before my opponent makes me discard something with, like, Kroxa or Thoughtseize? Maybe on the draw, I'm supposed to take out a little bit of my top end and just play lower to the ground. Let's see how we feel about this. This is a perfectly reasonable opening hand. I will keep this. It's not, like, as objectively good because as my last hand, I don't think. But this is not worth mulliganing. Absolutely not. I will be shocking on turn 1. Ooh, my opponent also went to 5. Not the best for them. Okay, they do have a land, and they didn't have a crazy good opener with a Ragavan or anything. Oh. Beautiful. Absolutely love it. Temple Garden. Into a Soul's Attendant. Well, okay. I don't have to choose anymore. I was about to say, on turn 2, I'm gonna have to make the choice between whether I want, like, an Auriok champion or a Tressalara or multiple soul effects. I assume I lose the Auriok champion here. And then I'll probably just play Tressalara and try to make it very large. Okay, sure. Yeah, let's get this going. And then next turn, I'll try to attack for approximately 1 billion with it. Assuming my opponent's good with that. Another one? If my Tressalara gets removed, I don't actually want this card. And if my Tressalara doesn't get removed, I'm already winning pretty hard. I think I'm just going to bottom this. It's, like, obviously not a bad card in this situation, but I have harder haymakers, things like Rest in Peace, and even, like, Thalia or the other little hate bear right now would be pretty good. Yeah. This is the scenario where I didn't want that other card. A Heliod is fantastic. We'll absolutely just put that into play, and I'll try to attack with it next turn, honestly. Yeah, this thing being indestructible is just absolutely disgusting. So, next turn, if I play this, I'm not going to have enough devotion. I was playing, what was that? Oh, that was just Lurrus going to hand? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I mean, this makes the Lurrus considerably worse. Oh, I suppose I did this in the wrong order. Yeah, I did that in the wrong order. Ooh. Where's this counter going? I think I'll just put this one on Heliod. Heliod's indestructible. Send him in, attack for 7. Could have attacked for 8 this turn if I played the Soul Warden first. But I think this one's over. I just Skyclave Apparition the Lurrus and attack for what I presume will be lethal, especially if I draw a land. Sanctifier Invec is also just a protection from black and red creature, so like Lurrus doesn't even block that. What was that? That's an Unholy Heat. That's fine. I have the devotion to just turn this immediately back on. Like, my opponent can play Lurrus then Bobble, but I am absolutely just fine with that. Yep, and that is what we're seeing. I'll just put this on Sanctifier Invec, just make that thing absolutely obnoxious to deal with. Bobble away, friend. I believe this is GG. Here's my Skyclave. Skyclave that. Yep, there we go. What an absolute showing. These pro-black and red creatures are gross. Alright, we are playing against a Lurrus deck once again. I have no lands here, so this is an obvious mulligan. This one will be a keep. I don't think I have enough gas in hand to keep the Oketra's Monument, unfortunately. Because I'm going to play out 2, or maybe all 3 of my creatures before I would even play out the... Oh, so we're probably playing against like a Hammer Time deck this round? Sure. Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I would probably play out most or all of my creatures before the Oketra's Monument came down, kind of dampening its power. And I think I need to keep the Skyclave as interaction when I don't know like what my opponent is on. Okay. Are you giving me the hammer? No, not immediately at least. So I don't need green mana yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and fetch some basics here. And I'll play some critters. We'll yield to these. We are gonna have a lot of triggers. And I'll attack, because my opponent is not trading away Bob for this. Absolutely not. Yeah, didn't think so. My opponent revealed a plains, and now they're gonna be able to get a hammer. I can Skyclave Apparition away said hammer. And I think I can just take that. Oh, wow, Shadow Spear. Okay. Do you just have a hammer in hand then? This is kind of how this reads to me. Okay, yes, there is a hammer in hand. This is an obnoxious amount of life my opponent is gaining. And it's trample-y, so it doesn't do me any good to block. Alright. I have found a new Oketra's Monument. I do not get to play it yet. I have to just search up a plains and remove this hammer. I can't remove the Bob here, unfortunately. Always yes to that one. Gain my life. Okay. Now, would I trade Inkmoth Nexus for one of these idiots? Absolutely. So I will go ahead and crash in. Then next turn I can play the Oketra's Monument and start doing stuff. Unfortunately... Alright, there's an Esper Sentinel. Anyway, unfortunately... I am at 12 life currently. My opponent still just has like a 3-2 Dark Confidant that's kind of hard to deal with. And my opponent can also just like top deck a new hammer and put me in a pretty bad situation. Although I don't mind this stuff. Well, okay, yeah, my opponent was not willing to make the attack there. That's reasonable. I'm just going to grab a tapped fetch land here. Again, just so I can F6. I am, I guess, giving my opponent a card, but I wouldn't have wanted to pay this life, or to pay the 2 life for this anyway, I don't think. Cards are not necessarily going to be my opponent's bottleneck here. It's just going to be whether or not they can find a hammer. Like, they're going to have more cards in hand than they know what to do with between, like, Bob and Esper Sentinel, so I'm not super worried about giving them a card. Alright, they have animated the Nexus. Did you just find, like, a hammer? Nope, okay. You are just going to go for the Infect kill, since I am the life gain deck. Oh, they animated the wrong Inkmoth Nexus the first time. So I got maybe a baby time walk there in that regard. Okay, this is just first non-creature, right? Yeah. I think I can just cycle this Horizon Canopy here to see what I draw. I think that's totally fine. Heliod. Heliod's pretty good. I am happy with that. We will always yield. And this is probably gonna get silly quickly. Where are these going? I honestly think I'm just gonna put these on the Vigilant creature. It does not maximize my damage output this turn, but I think that's going to be best for the future. And I would be fine trading Skyclave for Bob. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this doesn't actually have white symbols, so I guess I wouldn't. Yeah, I'll wait a turn on that attack. All right. Bob reveals a land. That's fine. I am gonna spiral out of control real quick. Okay, they're just cycling lands. I think my opponent knows that they're on, like, find a hammer to kill me with infect or bust. Yeah, no attacks. Ooh, they didn't attack with ink moths, actually. Alright. Hello. I would like to do the thing. Oh boy, okay. I suppose I can create a few large creatures here. Start putting some of these on a Skyclave, maybe. Yeah. Then this is gonna enter again. And I will repeat this process. The Skyclave is a 4/4. Let's turn into a 5/5. I feel like 5/5 is about my magical number right now. Start working on another one of these, I guess. Again, I don't necessarily feel like I have to maximize my damage output for any one turn. I feel like if I just kind of build towards making my board stronger, I'm fine. I guess I should give something lifelink here. But I am very much not dying to traditional damage here. All right. Guess I'll do that. Yeah, just disgusting. Kill me with infect damage or die. I'm guessing next turn I can just turn literally all of my creatures sideways. Yeah, that is their third silent clearing that they have cycled through. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is fun for me. I'll repeat this process. That one's a 5/5. Oh, too late there. Yes, I'll start working on another one. I think at this point I just start making them 3/3s or larger so they can trade with the Dark Confidant. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Alright, there's a 5/5. Yes. Start working on you. Start working on you. Alright, yes. You are making my board better. I am good with this. Alright, I hope you don't mind, but I just kind of skipped over some of that. The end result is my creatures are stupid big. Okay, my opponent's got something else. Sure. I wonder if my opponent is just trying to, like, waste individual seconds of my clock. That's about the only way this makes real sense to me. Alright, a Skyclave Apparition. That only costs me 2 mana. I'll put some counters on some random creatures. Alright, I dump them all on a warrior token. I'm just going to take out the Sigarda's Aid. I don't think my opponent can win without it. They can keep their Shadow Spear. Yeah, okay. I'm at 50 life. I remove one of my opponent's permanents. I turn a large number of creatures sideways. Oh, this one couldn't attack this turn. It is a little hard to keep track of everything that is going on here. Alright, opponent lining up some blocks. This is all absolutely fine. Yeah, because I put these counters here, I don't think I actually have lethal this turn. Nope, I need to click this. Do this thing, give it lifelink, put a bunch more counters on some creatures. Again, it doesn't really matter too much what I put these on. But my opponent should very much be dead. I thought this one could attack. Alright, my opponent killed themselves with Bob. Fantastic. Um, Path is reasonable. Stony Silence is reasonable. Thalia and Sanctifier Invec technically have text. I mostly just want things that keep me from dying to Inkmoth Nexus, but I don't really have very many of those. I need to trim 4 cards. The things that are probably on the table to trim here are these. I like Archangel of Thune in that it's one of the few things in my deck that actually flies, but I think it is quite slow. And as we saw, like once I get going and start doing my thing, I will absolutely outclass my opponent's creatures minus the hammer itself. So I think I don't need this. And then I go down some number of this. I think I keep the Esper Sentinels. My opponent has a bunch of cheap spells. Go down on Lions, keep Monuments. And go down on Lions, keep Monuments. I don't think Thalia is fast enough on the draw. I think I'll play Thalia on the play, though, if we go to a game 3. My hand is reasonable, but does not interact with a hammer. Does that mean my hand is not reasonable? I am unsure. I think I am going to keep this. This hand will probably scale up pretty well, and I will have some selection in it to start with. All right, my opponent has gone to 5. They were being much pickier about their hand than I was. See if that ends up being to their benefit or detriment. All right, so let's grab a basic and play a critter. And then hopefully I'll just play Tresselara, scry into something reasonable, and start running away with the game. I think my opponent has more gas. All right, this means a Pure Steel Paladin is probably coming. So that is something that is going to happen in the not too distant future. I'd like to look for interaction. Don't need that currently. Okay, I guess by playing out Branchloft Pathway, I lose the ability to play triple 1-drop next turn. I don't think that matters, but it's technically a thing. All right, there's 1 white mana. There's a second one. Oh, it's just a Bob. Yeah, great. Auriok Champion. Auriok Champion is okay. I think I'm going to fish for more payoff here, though, rather than more enabler. Temple Garden, not what I'm looking for. Do I want to take 1 off of Horizon Canopy this turn? But I can cycle it next turn. I can just play it and cycle it next turn. I'm just going to get another Plains out of my deck. And I'll start hitting hard. I am going to bottom this. I'm going to look for more payoff. I would love to find something like a Heliod and just go wild. I get a lot of looks at cards off my scries here. Stony Silence is fantastic as long as my opponent does not equip this hammer next turn. I will top that and keep it there. I am also, I believe, willing to attack with the Soul Warden. I would absolutely trade this for Bob at this point. My opponent goes to 11. They find a Memnite. Yeah, I am good with you playing critters. It just, like, gets this Tresselara absolutely out of control. Well, I guess a Memnite blocks for a turn. I'm a little confused why my opponent played out the Colossus Hammer if they just didn't, like, immediately have the, whatchamacallit, the Pure Steel Paladin. But, like, if they don't have another hammer right now, then not actually, like, going to town and doing the things that they want to do. Okay. I'm just going to pay the extra 1 for the Stony Silence this turn, I think. All right. I guess that means I should have played tapped Temple Garden, technically. Prevent that. I really hope that my opponent does not have a hammer here, and they just, like, were opting to try to kill this in combat. Okay, they're just taking a chump. Great. So they go down to 8. A Tresselara in future turns is probably going to be lethal because my opponent's likely to take a point of damage here. Yeah. All right, Urza Saga ticks up. My opponent can make a construct. Their construct isn't bigger than the stuff that I have going on. And I also probably just beat my opponent if they play a hammer anyway. Yep, GG's. I wonder if my opponent cost this one for themselves by playing out their Colossus Hammer. All right, I have kept my opening hand here. I have a reasonable mix of lands and spells, and I have like both life gain enablers and life gain payoff cards. Good luck to you two, friend. They're playing against another Bobble deck. I wonder if we're going to play against like some sort of blue-red Murktide deck this time around. Ooh, In which case this Auriok champion is gonna look hot. Ooh, alright, so my opponent is just passing. That means Lightning Bolt. Almost certainly. So they started to tap for red, and then they untapped it. On the off chance... yeah, I think I'm just gonna make my attack in, and then play the Auriok champion post-combat. Okay, so this works. They go to 17. I think I just want to get this thing in play before Counterspell mana is up. And then next turn I can play a payoff card. Okay, that is a Consider rather than a Lightning Bolt. Okay, there's a Ragavan going to Graveyard. And let's always yes and always yield to this. So the benefit of kind of playing this out how I have is that now when I play these things out, they are going to immediately grow out of Lightning Bolt range. Do this pre-combat. Yeah, I think I'm going to play a Heliod this turn. I'm just going to attack in with both of these. I guess something like a Snapcaster Mage could ambush me. Okay, it's just a Consider. That's fine. That means my opponent is dropping Counterspell, which probably means I'll just use this as an opportunity to play a Heliod. Okay, so we're seeing the Lightning Bolt on the Soul's Attendant now, I'm guessing. Nope, still not. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, that's fine. I'll take my 1 damage here. And then I think I just stick this now. These aren't going to immediately grow out of Lightning Bolt range otherwise. And I think if I dump counters on an Auriok champion, basically the only thing I'll lose to is a giant Murktide Regent, and then hopefully I can just like deal with that via lifelink. Okay, Serum Visions is fine. Basically cards not named Murktide Regent I don't care about from my opponent's deck. Murktide Regent, though, is definitely scary. Surprise, surprise. Alright, you've got your island. Every time they play a card, I'm just like, it's not Murktide. It's not Murktide. Oh, this looks like Murktide. Yeah. Okay, there it is. I will need to make my critter larger than a 7/7. That actually should be pretty doable, I think. Oddly enough. Okay, yeah, sacrifice away. At this point, I guess it's the second Murktide Regent that'll be somewhat likely to beat me. Alright, I go land. Play this Moon Dancer first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I can put counters on Heliod instead. Attack in that way. Yeah, I'll do that. Soul Warden. I think basically anything that's a creature at this point, I just put on top. I'll cast my Pridemate. It will just put counters on itself. Keep this creature on top. Yield to you. I'll attack in with my own 7/7. Thank you very much. Also, just kind of got a good look at this art for the first time. This is kind of wild. I think I have like a heart-shaped spear here. There's so many like secret lair type arts now that I'm just like not entirely sure what's from where anymore. I think my opponent's dead next turn in a lot of worlds. Yeah, they're digging. I don't know what exactly they have that's going to answer my Heliod. Okay, they're going to just try to keep it out of play via devotion. That's fair. Oh, okay, sure. I still think I'm going to outclass you, though. Yeah, so I think I just want to do this. Put a counter here. Go to combat, attack, and then give it lifelink. And I guess I'll just start working on this so that this can become larger than a 7/7. I guess the other thing I could have done there was just put the counter on Soul Warden and try to get 2 different lethal-sized bodies next turn. But I think I've probably got the long game down. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Ooh, another Murktide? Another Murktide is horrifying. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that can potentially beat me. This one's a 6/6. Alright, so I'll put my counter here. Yeah, my opponent can't really attack in, huh? So let's see. I can create a token, turn this into a 6/6. That doesn't give me the devotion I need, though. So I guess I'm going to draw a card. That is an Oketra's Monument. My opponent has 16 in the air next turn. That's scary. So I'll play this, and I need to hit a double pip spell next turn so that I can attack in with Heliod and my other creature. We'll see if I just die though. My opponent and I are both in a precarious position. If they don't have another blocker, an attack to try and kill me in 2 turns is pretty risky. Alright. Oh, nope. Okay. They're going to fetch. Just going to be a fetch to thin, and then you have yet another Murktide Regent. That's some shit if you do. They do. Alright. I mean, I'll keep stacking up my counters here, but now my opponent can attack with one of these pretty safely. Yeah, and then put me on a 2-turn clock. Go down to 12. Oh no! I lost my green source when I cycled the Horizon Canopy. Yeah, I'm dead. My opponent had triple Murktide. Did not expect to lose that. My next couple cards weren't great. I would have kind of turned things back around here. Yeah, and I guess technically I could have gained 6 life here, but that doesn't really do anything. All right, let's play Rest in Peace and Path to Exile to answer Murktide Regents. I don't think I had to be cute against my opponent's deck. My opponent's deck is just very well tuned and very fast. So I don't think I need this inevitability. I think I'm going to keep some number of Oketra's Monuments and cut all the White Mane Lions. I think I keep 2. I think Esper Sentinel's reasonable. I absolutely hate how few answers to Murktide Regent I have. What about Sanctifier Invec? It is hard to remove. Great against the Ragavans and the Dragon Rage Channelers. It's just bad against Murktide. I probably play this. I think this matchup's too fast for Archangel of Thune. I think Oketra's Monument is better than Archangel of Thune, but it's close. Like, this thing flies. Let's try this and see how it feels. Yeah, this is a reasonable assortment of cards. I am going to have something that can stop the Murktide Regents, which I think is a just absolutely huge deal here. And I also have, like, an answer to a Ragavan in Skyclave Apparition. And I have, like, both a life gain enabler and a life gain payoff. I'm good where this is at. The question now is, like, what do I play on turn 2? I think it is worth it to shock, to just give myself access to my second color. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. I don't think I attack here. I think I value my Soul Warden more highly than my opponent values their Dragon Rage Channeler here. And, like, their Dragon Rage Channeler is less threatening when I have a Rest in Peace in hand. Ah, fetch away. Yeah, that's fine. I would very much like my Ajani's Pridemate to grow to a 4/4. Okay, now I know I have to play around Spell Pierces. Although without more mana in my hand, I don't know that I get to play around Spell Pierce, honestly. Okay, no attack. Makes sense. How soon do I need to play this Rest in Peace? I think I can wait 1 turn. This is a touch greedy, but I can try to play this around a Spell Pierce. That's Lightning Bolt on Soul Warden. Unholy Heat on Soul Warden. This now becomes potentially bad. Like, with the Scry also dumping another card in the graveyard, Murktide Regent could happen this turn. Yeah, maybe I got greedy. Alright, there's a land. But Murktide can happen. Okay, Murktide did not happen. That is absolutely great for me. So I'll play my white land. I think I'm going to do this pre-combat. I want to know if my opponent has, like, a Spell Pierce, and if this might potentially grow before I make my attack. It is a counter spell instead. Things get a little weird if my opponent scries a 4th type into the graveyard. They did not. I'll make both my attacks in here. I've got to put the pedal to the metal. Oh no. That is an Unholy Heat. So that just kills one of these. Thankfully, my opponent didn't scry the 4th type into the graveyard here to just get rid of my critter. But I am absolutely behind here. Yeah, now I've got nothing on board. I'll have a Skyclave for... Oh, my opponent's straight up just not attacking with that. Strange. I don't understand that. I mean, I guess I just Skyclave this out of the way. I could take a turn off to play this, but I think my opponent getting that selection and getting them closer to a Murktide Regent is just absolutely too damning right now. Oh, a Dress Down. That's oddly specifically good in this situation. It's not better than a counterspell. Like I still get a 2/2 body or whatever, but that has been that is the fourth type to turn that into a 3/3, which is a problem when I didn't remove it. All right, Steam Vents went to Graveyard there. I'm absolutely just at the mercy of a Murktide Regent here. I think I can pretty easily beat this Dragon Rage Channeler over time. Okay. Is this going to me? No, it's going to my creature. Fine. Alright, my board is empty. I have a land. Sure. I will just go ahead and play this, and I'll try to grind out my value. Again, I am not worried about this 3/3, but I am very worried about a Murktide Regent. I also don't think that I need to, like, fetch a tapped... Okay, the second one of those is a bit much. I don't know that I will easily outpace that unless I draw a life gain card on my turn. At which point I think I'm okay. Down to 12. Yeah, this is fast. I'm gonna thin the deck here. It's super marginal, but if I'm going to get hit in chunks of 3 or 6 anyway, this 1 point of life isn't going to matter. Okay. And we start trying to go wild. Alright, so I don't get life off this first one. Oh yeah, this is cheaper too. This is also a legendary artifact, by the way. Alright, so my Ajani's Pridemate enters the battlefield, and then this triggers again. I'll yield to that. Yeah, all of a sudden I have a lot of power. Oh no. Oh, this is just gonna be cycling lands. That's fine. I'm just dressing down again. Okay, just petty theft my creature back. I wonder if that's better than just like playing the brazen, just straight up playing the Brazen Borrower and attacking with it. Maybe they drew it off the Fiery Islet though. Like that is a thing. Definitely nervous here. My opponent has the upper hand. I guess if I draw more life gain stuff, I can offset a lot of life loss relatively quickly. But as it stands now, my opponent has lethal next turn, I guess. Can I kill my opponent? I think I can kill my opponent, at least in theory. If I do this thing... Oh, I'm just gonna get counterspelled. 2 blue mana. Yeah, that is a counterspell. I think that does it in for me, because my opponent has 3 mana left. Or no, I can go to 10. I can survive this. Now I pay this for 1 mana. This is 8, 9, 10. Okay, good stuff. I'm not technically dead yet. Yeah, you can only block creatures with flying as well. That means I can send these in. Opponent goes to 6. I will die to a burn spell. My opponent will fetch, play Brazen Borrower. I'll go up to 11 life. They will attack me for 9. I will die to a burn spell that can go to my face. But my Pridemate is very large. It's crazy to me that this game is this close. My opponent gets another redraw off their not their man land, their cycling land. Yeah, okay, that's yet another redraw. That one happens on my turn, and they get a lot of selection via Dragon Rage Channeler to find what they're looking for. I would like to win, but I'm not super hopeful that it's actually going to happen. My opponent's creatures basically have to attack, right? Dragon Rage Channeler physically has to attack, and Brazen Borrower can't block my stuff. This is gonna be tight. Yeah, alright, they've figured it out. So this is going to be, can my opponent draw Lightning Bolt as this exact card? Don't do it. Don't do it. Nice. Cast. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gaining the life. It's happening. This enters as a creature. It will put me up to 4 life. Don't do it. What's 3 mana? An Archmage's Charm. Okay. So you gain control of my thing, but I still have too many creatures that are attacking. Unless there's some sort of gut shot type thing involved. I'm good. Oh, they drew 2 cards with that, I think? Actually. Yeah, I mean, I send all these in. You throw a blocker in front of here and take exactly 4. Holy moly, we did it. My opponent says, oh my, I did it a little bit too late. Yep. I will gain the life because I can. Whew. Okay. So I'm in the draw now. Oketra's Monument was not bad there. I like these cards that I have access to. My question is, like, do I go smaller when I'm on the play? Do I go smaller than the Oketra's Monument? I kind of awkwardly drew both of them that were in my deck that game, but it, like, absolutely was pivotal in helping me pull ahead. The thing is that, like, I know my opponent is playing Spell Pierces, and if I board these out, their Spell Pierces have very, very, very few targets. I think I'm going to do that. This also increases my creature density. This card just absolutely ran away with that game. I don't know. I think in a lot of cases, if I make it to the late game, I'm going to be okay anyway. This hand does not have a life gain payout, but this hand has a lot of life gain and is very good against something like a Ragavan. I think this is still fine. Just a little awkward. Like, I would kind of like to see some of my sideboard cards because, like, the things like Rest in Peace just have such a huge impact on the game. But it is what it is. Oh, okay. Thank you. That is a sideboard card. That is exactly the sort of thing that I would like to see. Or, no, that's not a sideboard card. That's just in my fucking main deck because I'm a mad lad. Sorry, I forgot. All right, upkeep Lightning Bolt to get the Scry off Dragon Rage Channeler. Absolutely a respectable line. But I'll play an Auriok Champion next turn, and then hopefully I'll draw either a reasonable sideboard card or a life gain payoff card. That's kind of what I'm looking for. All right, that's a life gain payoff card. I think I'm just going to play my sticky Auriok Champion first. It will potentially save me some points of damage on the ground for sure, and it should be pretty hard to remove or counter with my opponent only having 1 mana up. Yeah. So now I'm no end of turn consider or anything here. And then next turn I can play Soul Warden or Soul Attendant into Ajani's Pridemate and try to get it out of 4/4 range. Oh, yeah. How slow do I take this? Like, do I just play another one of these here? And try to get this counterspelled? I think I try to get this counterspelled. Yeah, I think I try to get this counterspelled. Okay. That was fine. I will shock myself. I'll play another one of these. I do have Dress Down to think about. Would I be fine? I need to do this separately. Would I be fine trading Auriok Champion for Dragon Rage Channeler? Yes, I have 2 of them. That's acceptable. Ooh. Okay, it is just an Unholy Heat on the Soul Warden. That's fine. All right, Serum Visions goes to Graveyard. That's a 3rd type. My opponent's going to go to 18, and then... Let's see, what am I afraid of? I'm afraid of Murktide Regent. I'm a little annoyed by my opponent just, like, passing the turn. I want them to just, like, use their fucking mana on their turn so I can do some stuff safely. All right. So, what's my line? I think I'm going to try to Skyclave here. If I Skyclave here, I guess I Soul Attendant first. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to just play Pridemate because it's better against just a counterspell. Although this, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I'll play the Skyclave Apparition this turn. Okay, that has resolved, unsurprisingly. Then I'll try to do this. This could get counterspelled. This could eat a Dress Down. Like, there's stuff that can happen here. All right. So over the last couple turns, I've wiggled this so that I have not lost my payoff card. I have lost the ability to remove this, but I have potentially just, like, made it so that I can stick a card that can be larger than a Murktide Regent. And if my opponent taps out for a Murktide Regent, I get Ajani's Pridemate. And it will be an Ajani's Pridemate that will be out of range of a Lightning Bolt and probably an Unholy Heat for a little while. Yeah, that's fine. Like, I think I will outpace this relatively quickly. Especially if I just, like, draw another creature that I can play. Alright, rest in peace. You're a turn late. I don't mind your existence, though. I guess I played this in the wrong order for Spell Pierce, huh? I guess that is what it is. Yeah, I mean, what did I say? Although, honestly, I don't think I would have paid for the Spell Pierce if my opponent played it at the beginning of that turn. I just, I don't think I could eat that tempo hit. Like, Murktide is an 8/8. Like, it hits real hard. Ooh, the Murktide region is actually coming in. Oh, no. Alright, I'll hold this land. My opponent doesn't have discard or anything that punishes me for holding cards in hand. 3 mana. Okay. You can draw your cards. I feel like I'm in the position where I probably have inevitability. Again, just like in game 1, the only thing I'm scared of is another Murktide Regent. Maybe was a reason to play the Rest in Peace before the Ajani's Pridemate, in addition to just, like, playing it around Spell Pierce. Although, again, I don't know if I would have paid for the Spell Pierce if my opponent actually cast it. Yeah, that's tough. This is probably an expressive iteration. Sort of interestingly, my opponent can't really play new creatures. Like, doing so grows my creatures. Ooh. Fuck me. That is a 3-for-1 that does not touch either of my opponent's threats. That's super unfortunate for me. Oh, wow. Yeah, they can crack that now and even get in an additional point of damage with Dragon Rage Channeler. I thought these Auriok champions were going to be borderline untouchable. Okay, they're not going to go for the extra point of damage. They're just going to make my turn more awkward. That's fine. Alright, I'm down to 18. And my life is quite bad currently. I'll play my critter. My opponent will probably crack EE with this on the stack, I imagine, rather than give me the extra life. Yeah. Now this is a 3/3, so I can't get this attack in. Actually, my opponent was probably supposed to crack that last turn if that turned it into a 3/3. Yeah, I think missing out on that lightning bolt worth of damage is pretty bad for them. Alright, so now I have 2 Path to Exiles to draw towards to answer the Murktide Regent, or I have a handful of life gain enablers that I could use to try to just power through it. This is a second... God damn it. Finishing the thought, if this is a second Murktide, though, I think I am put under enough pressure where I can't realistically win the game. Yeah, so this is 12 damage incoming this turn, and I am dead next turn. I don't think even, like, a Path to Exile is going to realistically save me anymore. Yeah. GG's. Wow, what a hell of a match, though. That was really fun. My opening hand for round 4 is a little bit awkward. So, like, I have life gain, and I have payoff. But I don't have mana to get to this, and without the monument, this card is really underwhelming. I think I'm going to mulligan this one and just try to find something that's a little more consistent. Yeah, this hand is way better. Let's keep this and pitch my 5-drop. I also think it's pretty likely that I am just supposed to play Esper Sentinel on turn 1 here over a life gain enabler, like after my mulligan. I want more lands, I want more payoff cards. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this, and this will potentially protect some of my my future life gain effects. Like, if I eat a lightning bolt right here for Esper Sentinel, I get to draw a card for this. Or if I get, like, a Thalia tax turn for it. Okay. Pick up another card there. We were playing against some sort of... Oh. Thought we were, thought we had kind of, like, banned these sorts of decks out of existence. Apparently I'm wrong. I guess... Oh, nope. No immediate dredge, though. Yeah, well... Okay. Sure. Yeah, so I guess I just stack up as many life gain cards as I can at this point. I'm not going to get Temple Garden yet, although I suspect that I'll get that later. Grab Plains for now. Do a 1/1 split of Soul's Attendant and Soul Warden, you know? Alright, what is... Oh, no. Dark Blast? Excuse me? Excuse me? No? Okay. The good news is that I have 2 different pro-black creatures in hand that can't be Dark Blasted. Bad news is fuck Dark Blast. uh, that's horrifying. I can also just, like, play Heliod and start getting this stuff out of range, so, like, maybe isn't the end of the world? This is a little scary, though. Like, absolutely a little bit scary. Alright. Do I just play Heliod this turn? Yeah, I think I just play Heliod this turn, and then I can attack with it next turn. I am going to take the 2 points of damage here to do this. I don't think I attack. I can make much safer attacks next turn without losing any creatures. Yeah. Gaze away. Oh, ho, yeah. So now, yeah, okay. Yeah, Dark Blast one of these. And then I will put some counters on this. Yeah. I think I'm pulling ahead. Like, could be wrong, but I think this is the point where I get to start doing my shit. Oh, land is fantastic. That means I get to play double Auriok Champion this turn. Some counters here. And then play the other one. And then next turn, I will actually get to start doing the cool White Mane Lion thing. Which is dope. Always yes. Always yield. Yeah. My creatures got big. My creatures got real big. I don't think I care about your prized amalgams. This is 11 damage. Ooh, opponent was thinking about blocking and then they just ate it. I don't know what my opponent's payoff here is. And I mean this in full sincerity, but I don't know that they are just going to beat, like, White Mane Lion. No, I wanted to cast my fucking Lion. It was going to be so dope. Like, my White Mane Lion here was going to gain 6 life and put 6+1/+1 counters on my board. Holy shit. Okay, rest in peace. Obvious slam dunk here. Sanctifier Invac, obvious slam dunk. So, I have Dark Blast to think about. Dark Blast is insanely good against my deck. I think my Skyclave Apparitions are pretty medium. Like, I don't know that I actually need to clear my opponent's shit out of the way. I think I just get bigger than it. So I think I go to cutting this for these first 4 cards. From here, it's a little trickier. The Archangel of Thunes are a little slow for this matchup, because kind of like as we saw, I can take over the game really quickly with my 2-drops. I think, despite the fact that this is an X1, I think I play this anyway. I don't know, maybe I should trim White Mane Lion and Oketra. I could also just straight up play Collected Company in this matchup. A little weird to board in Collected Company and Thalia at the same time, though. Yeah, I think I like that anyway. Because, like, this could just be the burst that gets me over the finish line 1 turn sooner, and this is another way to find Sanctifier Invacs. I think I'm good with it. I'm not sure if I need something like a Path to Exile. Let's try this. I mean, this has a Sanctifier Invac. Absolute slam dunk keep. It also has, like, a life gain enabler and a life gain payoff card. I love this hand. Alright. I don't really want to be drawing extra lands here. But, you know, you can't have it all. But we have a lot. The Otherworldly Gaze card is neat. I've seen this do some amount of shenanigans in a couple of different formats. Yeah, I will take a little damage from Creeping Chill. That's totally fine. Okay. Silver Smote Ghoul, 3/1. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, what do you have for me? Sure. You can have some life. We can both have some life. How about that? Okay. There's a Dark Blast in Graveyard. But, like, I just get this turn 2 Sanctifier Invac, which just seems, like, damningly good. Yeah. I'll take my life here. I will clear most, not all, but most of my opponent's graveyard there. They still have a couple Otherworldly Gazes. But, yeah. That is the concession there. Man, maybe I should have just kept 4 of this card. This card's good. Alright, my opponent has revealed a Yorion this round. My hand's kind of medium. I don't know what Yorion means in this format. In Legacy, it's always Death and Taxes. I don't know what it means in Modern. I think I'm just going to mulligan this hand and try to find something that's a little more aggressive. Yeah, this qualifies. I'm probably going to throw back the Auriok Champion here. It adds 2 Devotion for Heliod, which is nice. But if my opponent is doing something kind of control-ish... yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and throw this back. And because I do have the Trellisara, I'm going to go ahead and take Temple Garden on 1 and then do this. I don't know, maybe I was supposed to keep my 2-drop. Like, there's a lot of mana efficiency worlds where I get to play multiple cards in the same turn. Like, if I keep the Soul Warden. But the Devotion count definitely matters, so... I don't know, maybe I messed that one up. Ooh, a Temple Garden. Ooh, Prismatic Ending. Sure. Relisara? Yeah, I think this is now going towards one of those mana efficiency lines like I just talked about. Where I play this turn, and then if I draw a 2-drop next turn, I just play Soul Warden. If I don't, I just play Heliod. Okay. Alright. Minorly annoying, but not super annoying. Just play this as a white source. Grab a Heliod in play. And then next turn I can start doing things with counters. My opponent's a Prismatic Ending deck, so like my Heliod does not necessarily live forever in this matchup. Did I Prismatic Ending again? It is a Prismatic Ending again. Yep, okay, sure. Alright. Now we're cooking with gas. I do this, and then I get to gain life off both of these and get my scrying going. Yeah, absolutely we'll take a new Heliod. Absolutely. My opponent might be dead next turn. Well, no. Because Heliod's not going to enter as a creature, so I have 7 damage next turn. Alright, what do you have for 3? You have like an Uro? You have a Teferi. Sure. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is still okay with me. How do I play this turn? I think I just play the Trellisara, despite the fact that, like, it uses my mana less efficiently. Yeah, like, this is just a creature. It is just a hit. So I just think I take it. I think I finish off the Teferi. In the worlds where something goes wrong, having that not there is very important. Alright, so my opponent goes down to a very low life total. And I very much have lethal next turn. They might need multiple removal spells. That is an Omnath. I don't think that card matters. Like, my creatures are just bigger than it. Could be wrong, but it feels like I just currently have lethal through that. Okay. That means that they can stay alive, I believe. So, okay, they get 4 more mana here. That can do some stuff. They also, I guess, could have, like, split that between 2 turns and just gained 8 life instead. Oh, and a shock. Sure. What do you have? Eternal Witness. Sure. Ooh, so that returns a Prismatic Ending, which gets rid of one of these creatures. I assume that's what that's targeting? Yeah, it is. I mean, this is still just a hit. I still think I keep it. Like, my opponent can answer one of my 2-drops, and my other one is still just bigger than Omnath. So I'm good with it. Yep. Do I want to draw a card? I don't think I want to draw a card. I think I just want to play this. Could also just play Heliod and intend on attacking with it next turn. But if my opponent has more removal, that doesn't work out super well for me. Let's actually draw this card. I think I'm going to end up drawing that card anyway next turn. Sure. Alright, so I will play my critter. New Heliod can go to bottom. I should have fetched prior to doing that. Do I want to trade? I don't think I want to trade. I'll just force my opponent to chump block. Yeah, if I don't need green... this is obnoxious. Like, I was so close to the finish line. And then my opponent has gained 8 life and gained 8 extra mana. Oh. Oh, this too. I don't miss this shit. Alright. I don't think I'm going to win this one anymore. I think my opponent's greed pile has reached the point of stabilization versus my deck. I can try to wiggle through with this Heliod. My opponent will not be in a situation where they can attack for a while, and like Heliod can make it so. Yeah. My opponent also just has like Yorion in addition to this, like coming to like reset loyalty on these planeswalkers, do the Eternal Witness Omnath thing. Yeah, I think I'm dead. Yeah, that's the Yorion going to hand. Yeah, Yorion is worth 1, 2, 3, really 4, kind of 5 cards. I'm gonna play this out for like 2 turns, and then likely concede. I just don't think I am coming back from this deficit. Oh shit, I played that in the wrong order. Alright. That land goes to the bottom. Yeah, I was supposed to play this in the other order to get an extra +1/+1 counter on something. Oh my god, do you have an answer to this? Okay. Alright, especially with losing that card, I don't think I come back here. Like, I can try to build up a bunch of counters on one of these creatures, but Teferi just undoes that. It has so much card draw available. Another Eternal Witness. Okay, I think this is the point where I can safely concede. I'm not beating this. What do I need? My opponent is set up to grind pretty well. I have Skyclaves that can answer an Omnath. I probably need more than just that. I like Esper Sentinel. I like the Monument. I'd like to draw this card at some point in this league to actually see how it does. I think fine. Like, that's essentially just my fourth Oketra's Monument. I think these have to go. I think I need the value associated with this. And I think I just need more big guns. Path to answer Omnath is reasonable. The Graveyard Hate is acceptable, I think, but I don't know how good it really is. I saw 2 Eternal Witnesses that game. I don't know how many like Eternal Witness Snapcaster type effects my opponent has. I think Path is reasonable, Thalia is reasonable. I don't think I want any of the other stuff. 3 Monuments, too many. Like, is this game going to drag on long enough that I will reasonably see 2? I could see that happening. I would like to get these Thalias in the deck, especially when I'm on the play. Like, the Monument giving me a bunch of 1/1s is cool, but my opponent has blockers. This does not have enough mana. I have to mulligan this. Thank you for showing up, though. I appreciate the taunt. Oh, no. This is not an acceptable 6-card hand. This does not have enough pressure. I have to mulligan this, unfortunately. This is the best hand that I have seen so far. Oh, man. The fact that that's a Castle Ardenvale is super awkward right now. I think I have to take the damage here to play this Esper Sentinel on 1 to try to get some cards back after double mulliganing. But if my opponent just, like, takes their time and plays around giving me cards, I think they come out way ahead from this scenario. Yuck. I mean, Collected Company is obviously a very good card in the matchup, but I am so very far away from making that work. Just absolutely not close. Also, I hope my opponent doesn't have anything like Engineered Explosives that can 2-for-1 me here. Because I will not come back from that after the double mulligan. Just absolutely not. Alright. Triome acquired. Ooh. Solitude. That gains me a point of life here. But takes out my Esper Sentinel so that my opponent can just continue to play on curve. That's not good for me. Oh no. Is this Ephemerate bullshit? Okay. It is Ephemerate bullshit. That is horrifying. So, this has Rebound. So they can just cast it again at their upkeep. So I can't play any creatures out this turn. They just get a Time Walk and a removal spell and a 3/2 body for 1 mana. Yup. What a beating. Oh, Reflecting Pool. That's super cute. I go to 19. I'm going to play this Thalia, which is going to keep me from casting the Collected Company in my hand. I knew that was awkward in boarding both at the same time. I said as much, but I just felt like I needed both of the effects. Okay, it did resolve. So that's great. Oh, I'm losing the Thalia here. I'm losing the Thalia here. Which honestly, I'm good with. Like, that gives me the potential to, like, actually just spike a land, play a Collected Company, and maybe get back in things here. That's probably the scenario where I can come back, yeah. We'll fetch. Planes. Do I attack? I think the individual points of damage matter here because my opponent is sitting here on this Solitude. But, like, there's some Ephemerate worlds where that goes wrong again. I'm going to try to hit this Collected Company after my opponent taps some mana. Ooh. Alright, I mean, this is my window. I really need this to just be insane. Hello. How do I play this? This is quite good. Do I go the aggro route and take, like, Heliod Pridemate? Or do I keep a source of life gain around? Or do I try to draw cards? Wow, this decision is incredibly tough. Because I can take Heliod Ajani's Pridemate and then make a very large creature. And make my life gain good in the future. But then the Heliod kind of sits there and does nothing. Or I can take Esper Sentinel and something like a Pridemate. Make a reasonable... Yeah, I think I like that line. So this kind of puts my opponent in a situation where they have a decent-sized body to answer, and they have something that might draw me some cards. My opponent seems like they are choked on mana, like they have 2 lands currently. So, like, this is fine. And I'll grow my cat friend. As long as the cat friend is outside of immediate Solitude range, like, that's okay for me. I am still just, like, very worried about another Ephemerate ruining my life, though. Oh, yeah. That notably is something that trades 1-for-1 with Ajani. Well, not 1-for-1, 2-for-1 with Ajani's Pridemate. And it is not a non-creature spell, so I don't draw a card with Esper Sentinel. I mean, this has potential. It can potentially dig me out of this situation. Do I have all my Archangels in? I do. So those are now castable cards. But the control deck is doing a better job of gaining life than the life gain deck is, so that's not great. I think I'm going to just cycle this card immediately and try to find some gas. That is some gas. Yeah. I cast this, which gives me another creature. It has resolved. I'll fire this on in. Yeah, I mean, I am absolutely wrecked by the fact that my opponent has another Ephemerate. Like, this brings me back to nothing. I played out my creature pre-combat so that I could try to get a safer attack if my opponent had, like, a counterspell or something of that nature that they had to tap mana for, and got super punished for it. Although, I guess, like, they would have gotten my creatures either way, because, like, Ephemerate is dumb. Do I block? I think I have to block here. Yeah. So they opted not to just cast. Alright. I can make 1/1 chumpers for a while. But I think this game has absolutely tilted in favor of my opponent. Yeah. Because they're gaining 3 life a turn. I mean, I'll keep this up for a while. But any turn where I cast something is a turn where I'm not chump blocking, I guess. Is this even good to play? I don't think this is good to play now. I think I have to wait on this for if my opponent plays like a Ren and 6 or a Teferi or something like that. Alright, you attack in. I will repeat this process. You will gain 3 life. A little tiny bit of my soul will slip away. Alright. This is good to play when I don't have any life gain. Not really. I think I just hold the fort down. And then I think I try to just have a big turn all at once. But Fury plus Solitude is rough. I am just amazed that my opponent is able to play this good of a game with only 2 lands. It's just wild how powerful these free cards are. Oh, okay, there they are. All right, so like player Teferi or whatever it is you're gonna do. Alright, it is a Wrenn and 6. That means they just get to keep making land drops, so I'll remove this with Skyclave Apparition on my turn. Alright, life's bad. Hello. I need a way to gain life. Once I have that, like, we can talk. Alright, so I remove Wrenn and 6. I think I just need to get this body on the battlefield while I can. And I'll pick up another token in doing so. And now that I've actually cast something, I'm at the point where I can just, like, double block this Solitude with a couple of warrior tokens and take it out of play. Fuck you! Fuck you! And this ephemerate bullshit. I am so done with it. Ah! I've gained some life. I mean, that's good for me. However, fuck ephemerate. Oh my god. I just, like, lose this Ajani's Pridemate now. I think I take the hit from the 2/2 token, and then just play Archangel of Thune on my turn. Hopefully draw a source of life gain and just go wild. My opponent has 6 cards in hand, though, and is at 42 life. The 42 life I'm less concerned about than I am the billion cards in hand. Also, all this was coming from, like, a mold of 5, right? I believe it was. Things just have not worked out super well for me. I guess I do this one first in case my opponent plays some sort of counter spell. I haven't seen any yet, I don't think. Alright, that has worked. So now I play the one that actually matters. And then my opponent can just, like, play another ephemerate and I'll just lose my shit. It'll be great. Oh no. Alright, Hollowed Fountain into Shock. Is Cryptic Command legal in this format? What are we? Ice Fang Coatl. Sure. I think Cryptic Command got banned. Or did Mystic Sanctuary got banned? I think something in that whole situation got banned. Alright, just Lightning Helix away my idiot. That's fine. I mean, the Archangel of Thune can attack and give my stuff a set of counters, but that's not really what I'm looking for. A Fury hard cast just answers my Archangel of Thune. That's super disappointing. Alright, so my opponent's just pecking me for 1 here. At this point, a lot of my top decks are just very bad. Unfortunately. That is not one of them. I'm gonna just do this now. Because there's some worlds where I actually attack in here. Skyclave Apparition doesn't answer the things that I need it to answer. I guess technically it gets rid of a flyer. But I think I'm gonna be fighting this fight instead. Alright. Always yes. Always yield. So if I get a life gain payoff card, it's not crazy for me to win this still. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty good. Because that's a way to win where my life total doesn't matter at all. Yeah. Okay. So I will now try to win by going wide of my opponent. I thought I always yesed to these. Yes. So this enters the battlefield. I gain a bunch more life. This is 4 to activate. I don't have that much. Yeah, I don't think I need to throw away bodies here. Not yet. I will try to kill the Jace in 1 attack relatively safely. Yeah, all I need to do is draw something like a Heliod. A Heliod very specifically letting me give a couple of these warriors some +1/+1 counters would be very strong. Fury is horrifying from the other side of the battlefield. It would kill 3 tokens plus a Soul's Attendant. That would be pretty bad for me. There's mana tapping going on. Okay. I don't know that that green source is better than the thing that lets me poop tokens every turn. That decision is a little weird to me. Though I guess they don't know how many collected companies I have. Maybe that's something they're just super afraid of. Alright. Bounce a token? Yeah, sure. Bounce the monument. Like, I'm hellbent. I don't have a lot to do with my mana. I'm good with that. Yeah, the staring match continues here. I will play my monument, followed by a Thalia for a single mana. And I gain a lot of life. I go back to 20. This hits play. I go to 23. Alright, I have 5 disposable creatures. 6 once they attack next turn. I don't really want to throw away any of this stuff. I think I just keep waiting. On average, I am getting a Planeswalker activation worth of value out of my Oketra's Monument every turn. What was that? Okay, that's just a plus on Teferi. That's fine. Oh, Jace Bounce Fury is rough. I don't know that I can beat that realistically. That had not occurred to me as a horrible portion of my fate that was to come. Like, that's that's just brutal. Like, that happens every turn. Uh, I think I'm gonna concede to that. Like, I could sit here and play this out for another 15 minutes, but I think my opponent is on the winning side of that equation. Overall thoughts on the deck list? Very fun. Absolutely gets a thumbs up from me. I think the Oketra's monuments are worth their weight. I do not think the White Mane Lions are. We never assembled the White Mane Lion plus Oketra's monument combo. I had a White Mane Lion that was going to like very much put me over the top in one hand, but that was the card that I most frequently sideboarded out. I think that card is just absolutely power crept out. Like, once you have your Lifegain enablers and a payoff card in play, I don't think you need to be able to repeatedly play something. I think just like what you're playing is good enough. Given how good Oketra's Monument was once it got going, like maybe a couple of White Mane Lions goes out and you play like a couple more Torens. Like this was a card that I just never got to see in play. I drew it once and I had to throw it back during a mulligan. I think this is probably better than Oketra's Monument, honestly. I don't think the cost reduction is super relevant. So, like, I would 100% be good with playing, like, maybe even 3 Torens, 3 Oketra's Monument. And then this becomes something else. Like, maybe some form of interaction. Maybe another Esper Sentinel, even. Like, the deck could use a little card draw. As far as the stuff in the sideboard goes, I think it was fine. Like, there was some awkwardness. Sanctifier Invec was very, very good this league. I was very happy with that. Yeah, Oketra's Monument, though, definitely did stuff, and I hope you all enjoyed this league. If you did, click the like button. Helps me out a lot. Costs you nothing but, like, a little hand motion like this. Anyway, have a great rest of the day, y'all, and if you want to try out this deck list, it's available in the video description, as is my donation information. See ya!